Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. This is going to be a nice short video, and it's going to be more of a public service announcement for anyone who's building basically an EF, EG, EK or any of that kind of stuff, but specifically the EF. Doesn't even need to be K series. So the car got out for its first race weekend last week. Wasn't the greatest of weekends. I had axle problems, which I'll talk about in a minute. I had VTEC problems, and I had really bad suspension problems. Right, first off, the VTEC problem. What I was finding was I went out for a session, did about 3 or 4 laps, VTEC was working fine, and then VTEC stopped. Came back in, tried to figure it out, plugged in the laptop, couldn't figure it out, checked the wiring, went out, did another 4 or 5 laps again, and then VTEC stopped again. Now obviously this car without VTEC is pointless, so I called it a day. Got it back to the shop, and then this is what I found. Here is a picture of a VTEC solenoid pressure switch, and if you could see, there is a little barb that the clips onto to keep the connector on. Basically that had broken off. So over a few laps it would vibrate itself loose, and now there was no connection, no sensing the pressure, so therefore no activating VTEC. So that was a nice easy swap, just swapped out a new pressure sensor, and voila, VTEC works again. Okay, so the second issue was an axle problem. And what I didn't know while I was building this, these new axles, basically the driver's side for the RSX EP3 and the passenger side need to be swapped in an EF. If you don't swap them, the gap between the transmission and the spindle is too narrow on the driver's side, and on the passenger side the distance between the end of the half shaft and the spindle is too wide. So this one was on the passenger side, and as you can see, the top here is all crushed in. Basically what was happening was this was banging backwards and forwards, and then on the flip side it was compressed and was too tight, there was no movement. So what you need to do is you need to take the end off the passenger side and then the end off the driver's side and switch them on the axles, which I did with a new set of axles at the track and didn't have any issues afterwards. So obviously the axle issue was my fault for not doing my research properly and not figuring that out. Finally, the final problem was probably the most dangerous of the day, and that was a suspension issue. Basically, I was in a race and I got meatball flag, which means there's something wrong with your car, come in immediately. So I came in, and the clerk of the course that day told me that he could see my wheel in the wheel well on the driver's side moving laterally, which obviously is not supposed to happen. We then figured out what it was. The crossmember bar was loose. And now again, this is my fault for cheaping out. This is a cheap Amazon version, and the funny thing is it looks identical to the K-tuned one. You can see here is these 3 holes basically bolt in where the stock tow bars are on the EF, and this replaces the entire front cross member. Then from this point here you have 2 bars that go to the lower control arms that you can tighten and change the caster. Now if you're putting one of these on an EG or an EK, it's not a problem, because the actual lower control arms have a Y, which then goes to a compliance bushing, which would stop what happened to me. On the EF it's just a lower control arm, then these torsion bars to the cross member that keep the lower control arm from moving laterally. So with this coming loose, it was basically rotating like this. It was doing this under load. So obviously that could have been catastrophic if that had given way. So what I've done is I figured that obviously these 3 tiny little 13mm holes in the subframe, which is, it's not even actually bolted into the main kind of like hard points of the subframe, it's just bolted into thin sheet metal, because it's where the tow hooks are designed to go. What I decided was this obviously is not going to cut it. So I have to get a different version. So I bought this. So this crossmember bar I bought from Max Speeding Rods. It's not very expensive. There are very expensive versions of it, like Innovative, True Heart Racing, but you can see the major differences. Here is where the two torsion bars are going to go, but if you look on the sides, you've got these two bolts and these two bolt holes and some pretty big sturdy connectors. These two actually bolt directly into the stock subframe holes where the original Crossmember would go. So instead of being attached to the frame rails by the tow hook points, which would be here, it actually gets bolted in to where the original Crossmember goes. So this is going to get put on. It does come with adjustable tow arms, torsion bars. They're not rotatable though, unfortunately, so I haven't figured out how whether I'm going to use them, or I might use the combination of the self-adjusting ones off the last one. But this obviously is going to tighten up the suspension and hopefully keep me safe. So just a quick, as I say, quick public service announcement for if you're building an EF K-swap. Number one, if your VTEC stops, it's probably something to do with the sensor or a connector first than anything else. If you are building it, make sure you switch the cups on the axles so that the passenger axle is on the driver's side and the driver's axle is on the passenger side. And then finally, my biggest takeaway from this was, don't cheap out. Certain things you can cheap out on, but shit like this, which is structural, I should have really done this from the beginning. So I'm gonna bolt this on and go racing this weekend, guys. Hopefully I'll get some footage from this weekend. And I'll post it up there. If you want to watch the full build series, we have probably 2 or 3 more videos left in the series. Wiring, final setup, and then painting and making the car look nice, which I'm hoping to do before the last race of the season. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like this content. We're going to start some new builds after the season's over. We've got a Porsche 924 K24 turbo build. And we're going to try to do a EJ1 show car. I've never done a show car before, so we're going to learn how to do that. So stick around, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.